Good morning. Welcome to Exploring Economic Development with MEDC. My name is Meredith Harris, and I am joined this morning by my co-host, Jillian.
Roberts, good morning.
How are you?
Good. I love Wednesdays. I say it almost every episode. It's probably obnoxious at this point, but you're welcome. I'm doing it again.
We're wearing like the same outfit
We
today,
are.
which
We're
is
matchy
awesome.
match.
Yep, we planned that.
Yep.
Kinda, sorta. Do we want to tell them what we're going to be doing on Wednesdays, though? We're going to switch this down
Yes.
to every other month. I know, sorry to our loyal watchers, but we're going to really try hard to make sure that we are creating content that is, relevant and exciting. And so if anyone's ever looking to pass on ideas about podcasts or episodes that we could do, topics that you think would be great,
Yes.
we would love to hear it. So,
Absolutely. But we're going to start switching to every other month.
that's right.
And then on the opposite months, we'll be doing
A newsletter.
exactly.
Yeah, so if anybody is not signed up currently to get our City Happenings newsletter, please make sure you go to our website, check out what we have available. But that's how you can stay up to date with everything that's going on at MEDC.
Yeah. And if you're joining us live today on Facebook, on YouTube, on live on WMCT TV, hi, how are you?
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. We'd love to hear any questions or comments that you have. So we'll get to as many as we can. We'll integrate it into the show. And do we want to recap on last month's episode?
Of course we do.
Of
So
course.
last month we kicked off January with President Mike Ossing to talk about, it was episode 41, which I can't believe. But so episode 41 was all about taxes.
Yeah.
Which sounds really boring, but it was actually really, really exciting.
It was.
Wicked informative, right?
Yeah. I was really happy to see that so many residents were able to appreciate some of what was shared and the excitement of our extremely low residential tax rate.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a great episode. If you missed it, make sure you check it out. It's a lot of great information, a lot of good education, but also it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
President Ossing's awesome.
He's a
so
good guy.
I'm sure he's watching, so thank you for being here
Hi,
with us last time.
President
So on to episode 42. We're very excited this morning. We have an exciting new guest. Actually, not a new guest. He's a
new.
repeat guest, but we have our brand new mayor. Welcome back to the podcast, Mayor Christian Dumais.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
I had a lot of fun on a Sweet 16 episode.
That's
Episode
right.
16. It's been a while since we've had you on, but last time we saw you, you were a counselor.
Correct.
You are now our mayor.
So I've been told.
That's right.
I wish I had a little applause button. Yay!
That's right.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming back. And can you tell us, we had you on before. You did tell the audience before a little bit about yourself. But for anybody that didn't see that episode or might be watching for the first time, tell us a little bit about yourself.
If you haven't heard during the campaign, I guess, fifth generation Marlborough, city councilor of 6 years, small business owner since 2010, and now the current mayor.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I still pinch myself.
Yeah,
honestly,
that's awesome. And so a little bit about your small business, economic development.
Sure. I own a hair salon.
Yep.
We repurposed an 1869 shoe factory and turned it into a 2-story hair salon and day spa.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And on episode 16, we did a kind of a deep dive into your small business and how you got started. So anybody that missed that episode, it is episode Sweet 16.
Sweet 16.
But we talked to then Counselor Dumais about your business and what it was like to get that started and kind of the challenges that you go through as a small business owner, but also the benefits and the excitement around it. So that was a great episode too.
I had a lot of fun.
You
A
did.
lot of laughs. You did. They're always too short for us because I think
have
we
fun
can.
here.
We do have
We
fun.
can talk for hours.
That's right. That's right. And we're going to make you talk for about an hour. So
Yes.
that's
Bring
awesome.
it. Bring it.
All right. So the next thing I want to ask you, you have a brand new staff.
I do.
So can you introduce for the audience kind of
Yeah.
who's over on the 4th floor? Who's up there every day? Who would they get when they call?
So Ryan Egan was my campaign manager. He is now my chief of staff.
Yeah,
And yes, huge asset to the city. He worked in Framingham. He's worked for the city of Marlborough before.
Yep.
Knows ins and outs about government. Very well connected. Huge asset to the city. And then Heather Gutierrez, who is my executive administrator and also worked for the city of
Yeah.
Marlborough in the legal department. She speaks Spanish. Again,
She's great.
she coordinates my schedule and makes me on time and does all the things that I can't do.
That's not an easy job.
And we've had that conversation because working at the hair salon where like that is your lifeline, scheduling, and she kills it.
That's awesome.
Because scheduling is probably the most challenging
Mm-hmm.
thing to do and coordinating all that. So and she's risen to the occasion.
She's
rose
doing
to the
great.
occasion, and yeah, I'm very fortunate.
That's
to
awesome.
have
Yeah.
her. And she loves it. And her and Ryan know each other as well, so that's huge. And yeah, we're all making it work in one big happy family. So I'm very
Well,
fortunate.
welcome. We extend a warm welcome to you and your team to the
Thank you.
city, and we look forward to working with all of you. It's great because we have worked with all of you before, and so it's just a new role and different roles.
Right.
So it's
And
exciting.
I think City Hall,
Mm-hmm.
they miss them, like,
Yeah.
because you build relationships. Obviously, Marlborough, we build relationships through
Sure.
and through, and to have them come back, it's
been great.
It's been very positive.
Yeah.
So.
Meredith, can I just throw a question out there?
Of course you can.
Because I feel like it's good to remind people of the connection, and we talk a lot about what we do here at the MEDC, but in terms of the connection with City Hall, I almost said Town Hall, with City Hall, like what is this connection like? What is this working relationship like between
the mayor's office,
Yes.
and our office. I mean, I'll go first. So, I mean, we have a very close working relationship with the mayor's office, and a lot of what we do is enabled by what you're doing. We try to follow out the vision of both, the mayor and the city council, what they're looking for. So, I mean, I joke all the time that we can sell anything, but we need to know what we're selling and what's the vision, and so we can go out where the MEDC is the sales and promotional arm for the city, doing business attraction, business development. So we take our guidance from what we call our client, which would be the city. Yeah.
Thank you. I just think it's good
To hear that.
Yeah.
But even from the mayor's perspective,
Please.
it's incredibly important to cultivate the relationships with MEDC, regardless of who's sitting in the mayor's seat.
Yeah.
Being obviously a new administration and trying to get your feet wet, and then meeting other mayors that are also doing the same thing. And you and I have talked about this, how fortunate Marlborough is because of the economic growth, and we would not have that if it wasn't for MEDC. So
Thank you.
No, and and I think there's a lot of perception out there about what MEDC does, but again, spearhead the meals tax and the hotel tax and cultivates that. That affects the tax rate, and the bottom line for our residents. And to have smart economic growth is extremely important for
Right.
the overall big picture. And I think what MEDC does nails it on the head every single time. And other communities are very jealous. When I go to these mayor meetings and conferences, we're like, oh, yeah, Marlborough, oh my God, you guys are doing so well. You're crushing it with the growth. And I'm like, yeah, because we've cultivated that. We groundbreaking with what MEDC has done in 2010 when it all started. And I think that's kind of message gets lost on that.
I agree.
But
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. That wasn't even part of the question. So that was great. There's a short
I
clip
just
right
threw it
there.
in there.
Right?
Sorry.
But to your point, and I think we are at times the envy of other communities in the Commonwealth, but there's been a lot of strategy behind that too, right? And
Sure.
so I think you're hitting the nail on the head that it's important to continue that strategy and to keep doing it.
Right.
So we're really grateful for your support and and willingness to do
But
that.
I never want to discredit the hard work that it took to get here either with,
Thank you.
Arthur Mayor Vigent
Yep.
and Arthur Bergeron and,
Yep.
and Nancy Stevens. Like, it all started with them, and I'm just fortunate to kind of reap the benefits. And I think the taxpayers are too. And
Agreed.
I think it's important to remind that. But
Thank you. Thank you. That was very nice.
And that's
yeah.
a
that's
wrap.
the show, yeah.
That's the show.
Thanks for having me. No, you know what? I honestly believe that I'm here as mayor is to shed some positivity and shine what Marlborough does well. I think after COVID, there's just so much negativity,
Yeah.
and we need to be positive. And I literally wake up in the morning so incredibly happy. And I find myself even saying good morning to strangers or hello and like passing them by just because I'm so proud to not only be the mayor, but to represent this city. That like when people are in City Hall, I'm like, can I help you? And I don't think they know who I am, but I don't care.
okay.
It doesn't matter, because I'm like, what do you need help with? Oh, the building department or this and that. Like,
That's awesome.
I think that's what we need more in this life, and if I can bring some rainbows and sunshine to people, and I love it. It doesn't cost me anything to
love
smile and say hello to someone, but it's just, I'm very blessed, and to be able to showcase that and by just saying hello,
That's awesome.
but yeah, so it wasn't a sales pitch. I'm not
No,
making,
no,
I'm not making any money by MEDC by being here. I'm not, it's not an advertisement, but it
We're just
again,
making the city money, right? We're by bringing in new growth and doing those things.
well, because
and-
you make my job easier. You make the counselor's job easier. You make the residents have a little bit more money in their pocket because they don't have to pay for certain things because of things that were already set up through this agency.
Yeah.
And I think that, and the frustrating part, that's get lost.
Well, so
somewhere.
on that note, so, and again, we're getting a little, before we even ask you your first question, but for the viewers and anybody that is looking to learn more about MEDC and what we do, we're actually going to be rolling out a whole new series this year featuring little mini clips featuring all the team about what we do and why we do it and why it's important. So keep an eye for those videos. Those will be coming to you over the next year, 6 months or so, just to give a little bit, to try and combat some of that of what are they doing over there and why are they there. So thank you. I think that's a great way to kick off that series. So all right, so first, I guess second question, because we asked you to introduce yourself, but your first 30 days, so it's a little over 30 days. We're now into the first week of February, but what did your first 30 days on the 4th floor look like? You know, what are you prioritizing? What's going on over there?
Lots of meetings.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of meetings, but all good. Meeting with department heads, city councilors, a few developers are coming up to discuss future projects. We went to MWRTA, got to ride the bus, which was pretty cool. And then meeting with schools, taking tours, just trying to meet with different organizations. I'm with Rotary tomorrow, which is exciting. Just trying to get out there, you know, and try to get caught up to speed and just kind of figure out my technology. I have now 2 phones. You know,
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, yes. I long for the days of a flip phone, even before the 2 phones, and now I'm like, I'm going the opposite direction.
Right.
Of what I want. But it's been a great 30 days.
Yeah.
You know.
So you mentioned the school tours. I've got some pictures of some of. We pulled this off of your social media. It's really great to see you out involved. So you visited Jarrick, Richer, Whitcomb.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. Those are the 3 thus far, and we have more coming down the pipeline. So.
And so you're now the chair of the school committee as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's all new, right? And so you're enjoying it, obviously.
I'm loving it.
Good.
Yeah, I really, it's like the coolest job.
Yeah.
Like it really, like I go back to like being like a 14-year-old prepubescent dork, you know, and I'm like, I'm now the mayor of this, you know, like you get stopped at places. I'm sure that'll get old soon, but
you worked really hard to get there. So, you know, enjoy that.
And that hasn't changed either, you know, because I think I'm still out, you know, like I still go to the Prospector. I was at Funky Murphy's last night for trivia, and I'm still, and people are like, "Oh my God, you're the mayor." I'm like, "I am." You know, like, you're right. You know, and then the selfies and the pictures, and you know, but even going to the schools, you know, like one comment that like literally almost tore me up. Like kids were like literally asking questions. They're like, "Oh, maybe the mayor," and then they learned a new word, "spectacular," the next day. And then one of the students was like, "Wasn't it spectacular that the mayor came to see us?"
That's
and I'm like,
so sweet.
like,
That's nice.
how do you, like, what do you do with that?
Well, that makes the
you know,
late
like,
nights and the early mornings and all those things
everything
worth it.
You know, I'm high-fiving the kids and I'm tying their shoe. Like, I'm like, this is like the best job. Like, you know, like, I don't know how I got this lucky.
And so you also got to ride an MWRTA bus, right?
Oh, I got a picture of that.
Yeah. Complete with a vest and everything.
Yeah, you were wearing really cool vests.
Yeah, I still have it. I may rock it from time to time.
There you go.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, so I think that's obviously one of the many priorities is trying to figure out public transportation and make it more accessible because the routes that we currently have do not make sense with what Marlborough has to offer. So we'll be talking to them to see what can be done and kind of change that mentality. And it's a great program. You know, again, my job is to showcase the things that Marlborough has to offer, you know? So, but we have to make sure that it's right. So talking with them and trying to figure out what can be done, how can we make it more accessible, and where are these routes that we can go in the specific stops.
Making better connections, right?
Yeah.
Well, and we've talked about this for a long time. I mean, call it the last mile gap when you're talking about commuters, and you know you can get to the Southborough train station from Boston, from Worcester, and then you're there in Southborough, and you're like, okay, now what? Now what do I do? So we tried to step in a couple years ago and created the commuter shuttle, which is a great program that's been really successful over the last, dare I say, 4 or 5 years. We started it right before COVID. Yeah. It survived throughout COVID. We actually shifted during COVID and let the senior center use it full time during that time period, which was great. And it's got about 14 steady riders where we're trying to get commuters to their workplace, but then also the residents get to take the shuttle out of Marlborough to the train stations. They can access Worcester and Boston as well. So that's another great service that aligns with all those goals.
Right. Yeah, and MWRTA just announced on February 4th, and then they have a Sunday schedule. So they're open 7 days a week.
You're
which
piloting
is
that, I think.
correct.
Which is great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Yeah.
they'll test that out. But again, the information isn't there.
Yeah.
You know, so like how do we as a city navigate that and showcase that?
And you've talked a lot about bringing information to people in different ways.
Sure.
And
Right.
one of the things that you had on the council agenda at the last meeting was this new website design. So do you
Correct.
want to tell us a little bit about what people can expect from that?
So actually, we're pushing that out for a survey, so people kind of can express what they want
Great.
with that website. And there's a community survey as well that's
Mm-hmm.
on the city page that you can just access, and that discuss website information. How do you want to receive the information? Do you want to be on board and commission committee? So it's kind of highlighting what do you like about Marlborough? What are the positive things? What do you not like about Marlborough? Do you have school-age children? How's the school systems? It's a way for someone to be have constructive criticism
Sure.
about the city.
Yeah.
I know that the roads need to be fixed. That's not the purpose. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like that's a different avenue for your potholes.
Sure.
But it's a way for you to design or think, what do you want to see the city in 5 to 10 years? How can
Okay.
my administration take all that information and then work it? So what is your priority? You know, so it's to gather information and bring it back onto the resident. Like, hey, this is your city. What do you
wanna
want to see?
So you're really looking to gather information from people in the community
Correct.
to see what, and maybe try to find some similarities of our themes of
Right.
what people are looking for.
And I said this throughout the whole campaign. Like, some of the best ideas come from residents, you
Sure.
know, and if you're not listening to them, like, how can you get that idea, you know? I never want to be the smartest person in the room, but I want to listen to people that are,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I think that's what truly makes a leader,
Sure.
you know? And I'm excited about this survey. It's been going on during the transition team, and now it's on the city website. So there'll be more people that can be vocal about the city that they live in.
So people can find the community survey on the website. It's
So if you
been
just
on
go
social
to
media.
if you just really go to the city homepage, it's literally right there. So
Perfect.
you can just click right on that. But again, that will tie into the whole website redesign, because the website right now can be kind of clunky in how to find information. Then we can change things during seasons like leaf pickup,
Sure.
plowing, emergency bans, things like that. So we'll have more control over what the access is.
And
on
isn't there going to
the
be like an
Facebook.
AI piece of
There's
it
going to
too,
be an
or
AI.
chat?
Yep, there'll be an AI chat.
So you can get almost like
feature, so you
live-
can ask questions there.
Yeah.
And I think the frustration with me during the campaign as a city councilor is that people just go to Facebook or social
Sure.
media and they ask these questions. It's so close, I'm hitting it. So
We're not going to invite you back if you hit that again.
okay, but I said really nice things. No. So it's the social media can be very negative, you know, and I think the part of that is because the people don't have a reliable resource or can find answers
Or don't feel
relatively
like they're
quick
being heard.
or being heard. So if
Yeah.
we can kind of mitigate that by having access and information,
Sure.
I honestly believe that a lot of that will be cut, you know, and we're rolling out a newsletter.
Great.
So we'll see that next week. So we have all the department heads sharing in the newsletter what's going on, which is a huge thing, you know. So, and you can sign up for the newsletter on the mayor's portion of the website. So if you don't have that or haven't signed up for it, please do, and that'll be monthly, and that'll kind of tie in with the website and having that information. But again, the social media can be a great thing if it's utilized properly.
Sure.
And I don't think the city of Marlborough has done that, you know. And I think, and we look to MEDC because you guys do that very well, you know, with your city happenings, your newsletters, and your videos. And then now it's time for the city to step into that, because that's where the information should be coming from.
Sure.
Is the city, you know,
Sure.
and it's accurate, and it comes from the horse's mouth, you know, coming from my office,
Sure.
you know. And again, it kind of just sets that tone. Like, no, this is the information. This is the correct answer. Because there's certain things that roll out that are like, what? Where's the information? You know, because it wasn't done effectively. And then that's when you have all the comments on Facebook and things of that nature, which is, it's not good for anyone.
Yeah, you're trying to cut down on some of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's good too to have a newsletter that people can get when they're not on social media, because there are so many people of all generations that opt out of social media.
Right,
And you know,
right.
that's everyone's prerogative, but they should still be able to access all of those updates and be able to
Right.
be as informed as anyone else. So I think that's really wise to have it be connected on a website or in
Right.
a virtual newsletter. It's good.
Well, and it's exactly what you're talking about is what we attempted to do last year too, from in a development world too, of like
That's right.
when people were talking about the projects and nobody had the right information. So we had
Correct.
added that development page, which I think got some pretty good traction. I think people
Right.
liked it, but it's exactly what you're talking about is, sometimes people, if they don't have the information, they make up their own information or, and so we tried to
Well,
make one space where you could find all the information.
Or it turns into a bigger version of telephone.
Yeah.
Where you
Yeah.
think you hear something and then that's misconstrued
Sure.
into something else and turns into something else. And then it's like, how did you get
Right.
from here to there?
Right.
But even that tool, the development tool, like I use that
Yeah.
as a city councilor.
I
like,
use it all the time.
Right. I would
Yeah.
just, like, if someone had a question, I just copy the link. I'm like, here you go. And then
Yeah.
there's that avenue where they can, and they can read as much or as little.
Right.
But they also know where to find
Where
it.
to find it.
Right.
And,
Right.
and that's half the battle.
Right.
But
And in those Facebook pages, people are like, "Oh, this is coming up. Well, here's the link to the developers
Right.
page." So
right.
yeah,
Right.
Right. All right, I'm changing gears.
yeah.
Okay, we've got a long list of questions. We'll try to get through most of them. All right, so what city councilor for 6 years, now mayor, what has been the biggest difference between going from a city councilor to now mayor? And I know it's only 30 days,
Yeah,
but so far.
But everything has changed. I signed my name a lot more. so there's that. But yeah, I mean, you think of things very differently, like when you think of like the snow coming, like, oh geez, how's that going to affect the budget and snow and ice and DPW, are they
Yeah.
are incredible,
Yeah.
and they work all night, early mornings, and like, okay, make sure that they're okay, and all that.
And they
all of
never
that. So
complain.
DPW is the hardest working.
They really are.
department. That and rec department,
Yeah.
during the summer, like,
Yeah.
it's funny now sitting in the fourth floor. It's just like the amount of work that goes behind the scenes
Yeah.
just to keep the city running. People just go to bed at night and just, my street will get plowed or this one, or the trash will get picked up. Hopefully, like all of that happens, while, like Marlborough's a pretty well-oiled machine. We're not perfect by any means,
Sure.
but to now know that you are leading that, and to make sure that things are running appropriately and trusting in your department heads, it's a very different mindset.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of trust that has to go into this position when you're talking to your department heads to make sure that they are doing the best job that they can, so their employees can and their
Yeah.
staff and team can do the best that they can.
Right.
Yeah, I honestly believe it's a trickle down effect.
Absolutely. You're enabling people to feel good.
It stems from the top, and I think that's why building morale and saying hello and how are you, how are things, it sends a different message. And people are now more engaged, and if you just treat them politely and kind, they want to work harder. There's that sense of pride, like, oh, someone actually values and appreciates what I do.
Yeah.
And it's not that hard for me. That's kind of like my wheelhouse. So,
Sure.
I think being a stylist helped that because you make people feel very comfortable and at
Right.
ease, and we can just kind of sit and chat and get to know someone and like, oh, that was a good meeting, but it was also productive.
Yeah.
Like we can laugh and joke and like, oh, that was actually a pretty,
Yeah.
pretty good time.
Well, it's getting to know people on a different level. And so you've always been very supportive of MEDC and business in general. I know that you were really actively involved in the chamber for many years before, even becoming a city councilor. And is there anything, so now you're involved with us on a totally different level. Is there anything you've learned about MEDC in the past? I keep saying 30 days. It's been, I don't know, it's like 40 something days at this point.
We're not counting.
We're not counting. You stopped doing that, right? Because
yeah, I don't have time. I don't have time
But is there anything, and obviously you knew a lot about the organization. We've worked well
Sure.
together for many years. But is there anything you've learned in the new role that you didn't know about us, or something you learned more about that, you were surprised by, or?
I would probably think the toolbox, like I knew that it was a thing and
Yeah.
I would advocate for
Sure.
it, but I didn't realize that there was like a whole team and the choices that they make and what
Yeah.
can be utilized. But I mean, I preach the toolbox
We
all the
appreciate
time,
that.
especially so opening this salon in 2010, and we just ended the recession, or we're coming out of that recession, and it was brutal. Like I wish it was around when I was first started, just for those little things that like, oh, I need a new hair dryer, or I need something, a new sign, or something, just to beautify my shop, or if I can find a way not to pay for something to help my bottom line, like why wouldn't?
Yeah.
So every so I'm like, oh, check out the toolbox, like how are things, and people are very responsive to that, and I do follow up. Like, did you do it? Like, no. I'm like, why? It's money that you can utilize. Like, that's what it's there for,
Well, and I think the beauty of MEDC too is like we have a dedicated team. So like we'll put feelers out there to somebody of, hey, you should apply for this program. And if we don't hear from them in a week or so, we will literally walk into their store with the application, like have already written their name on it of like, you should do this. And because I think we know, and better than most people that even $10,000 to a small business is a huge deal and it can make a big difference. And, that's where it's just important to keep getting the word out and make sure that people know it's available.
But I also think as a small business owner, you have so much pride that you don't want to ask for something.
Sure.
And I'm like, so just to get rid of that stigma, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, that could help your payroll. Or, like if you pay for this, then you don't have to worry about payroll for that month. Or, like there's always something that you can utilize or buy, that
instead of
you can just
money
offset
on
it.
A new sign, that's something that we might be able to.
Or you're saving and saving and saving and saving for that thing. I'm like, well, stop the stress and just apply. Like you have nothing to lose.
Right.
Like you have everything to gain if it gets approved. Like take advantage of it.
And it's also, we use it too as a tool to then promote the businesses that take advantage of it, which is great. But so what I'm hearing you say is that you didn't know about the process behind it. So for anybody that's watching that might be interested in the toolbox, it's an easy process to apply, but then the approval process is what you're referring to, where there's actually a subcommittee of some of our small business owners. And then we have a couple folks from the bank, some different people, CPA, that sit on this committee that look at every application and make sure that we're being good stewards of the money. But also, being willing to help out small businesses in town to help them grow. And so that there is a process to it. It's not like you just sign the paper and we give you the money either. We do make sure we're looking at it, but there's a lot of checks and balances in place. And we do typically grant the approval to applicants that are applying if they meet the criteria.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't realize it was more like a scholarship kind of thing. I just thought it was your office kind of internally, and then that's not the case, which is pretty cool.
Which is cool.
So
well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for showcasing that. And I do think we have the video we'll play at the end of
at the very
episode.
End, we'll show our revolving loan fund.
Perfect. Yeah. So if any small business owner that's watching now, please stay tuned at the end. We'll roll the clip. We'll roll the tape, and you can learn more about
apply.
it there. And apply.
Just apply.
Exactly.
Why not?
It's one of our favorite programs. And it's funny, I think I've said this before, but it was the first project I worked on when I first started MEDC was to help launch the Toolbox program.
Sure.
I mean, it literally was all of us sitting around a table trying to come up with programs that we thought would be relevant and things to help people. And to see it grow into what it has grown into has really been great.
And I have to be honest, like obviously owning a business in 2010 when MEDC kind of started, and those 5 years were very difficult.
Sure.
Very painful. I didn't think I was going to stay open. And, you go through a lot, both personally and professionally, you know. So to be honest, I had a lot of resentment towards MEDC because I always thought it was big business, and I'm always like, I'm struggling and I'm trying to do everything I can with the chamber and network and killing yourself just trying to make ends meet, and then to have this and to be more focused on small business, like, thank you, it's almost like I was heard in some way because small business, I think, is the crutch of America. It's the American dream, to open a small business. And I think small businesses are always relied on to keep the community going. Like I'm more apt to donate to scholarship or the library or that soccer team, I mean, yes, big companies can write a bigger check, but I'm donating to these small little things, and
coaching the team, and
I think it's different. We're like, okay, I have to do like 10 haircuts to pay for that.
Yeah, sure.
Like you have to equate that way, and for now MEDC to showcase small business, it's great. For me, it's like good.
Well, and I think the organization has evolved over time, and and also
Right.
credit to Molly Broder too. She was on
Sure.
the board
Just
during those
thinking of her.
early days, and that was one of her big things was
Right.
same thing, small
Same.
business, and we
Right.
don't
And
get me
how-
wrong, we still do a lot of big business, but we're
But-
doing small business as well, and we've really tried to balance that out.
But I
over
think
the
you
years.
found that balance, and how great is Molly?
She's
Like,
she's
oh
on the
my
toolbox
God.
committee as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
and my transition team, and
She's great.
oh my God,
Yeah.
huge asset.
Huge.
Like,
Yeah.
well, I could go on and on
I
about
know.
her.
So apply for the
forever.
Toolbox program,
Yeah.
small business owners that are listening. All right, so we'll go back to talking about kind of the brand of Marlborough. And you did
Yeah.
say, I've heard you say it before, but you also said it this morning that you're hearing that Marlborough is a city to watch.
It is.
Why do you think that is?
Because we're the best city in the Commonwealth.
Wait, hold on.
Because we're here.
Say that one more time, okay?
Because we're the best city in the
There we go.
Commonwealth.
I didn't have you on the screen.
No, location, our infrastructure. The mayors before I did a great job making sure our sewer infrastructure, our water infrastructure is there.
Yep.
The people that work here, again, there's that sense of pride. I know that Jill lives in Clinton, but I know her heart is here. Because that's Marlborough. Again, you moving to Marlborough because you see the value.
Absolutely.
And when you have the governor saying, "Hey, Marlborough's city to watch," my first month, I'm like, it is. Like my response, like, it is. Because she's not wrong.
Right.
And I think people are realize that, and that's why they want to move here.
Yeah.
Whether you're a big business, a small business, or even wanting to move here
With your family.
and I think there's a lot of heart here, and there's again that sense of pride that I grew up with, and now to be able to sit on the fourth floor and bring that back,
Yeah.
we can only be better.
Well, I always laugh too from like a resident perspective. Anybody, my family and friends that come to visit, they'd be like, "You guys have like everything," and it's true. We do. You
Yeah.
drive down Route 20, and it's all kind of put in good pockets. There's good
Correct.
there's good areas of the city for different things, but you drive down Route 20, and you can literally get anything.
Yeah.
Anything you need. We have great restaurants. We've got hair
Right.
salons, barbershops, jewelry stores. I
Yeah.
mean, all the retail you can imagine. A million square foot mall, sports center, Apex Center. I
Right.
mean, the list
And
goes
our
on and
parks
on.
and-
Parks
And
So
so,
many things to
to
bring your
talk
kids
about
to.
that conservation in the rec
Yep.
department, like we don't even touch that
Yeah.
regarding what we have to offer.
Yeah.
We have over like 15 miles of trails, which I recently
incredible.
learned. One is a 26.2 mile Panther Trail.
Yeah.
Like it's incredible. I know there's a lot of negativity about the boardwalk, but again, it's just
It's gonna be awesome.
I cannot wait. Like, and that's what I tell people. Like, people are like, bah, 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 and I'm just like, when it opens, we're gonna do a little opening.
Sure.
Come with me. We'll
Yeah.
frolic down the boardwalk. I cannot wait.
Just don't
Beautiful.
fall in. That's all.
And I won't.
You won't though, because they put safety
and
precautions in place,
I've
right?
been practicing my frolicking just for this purpose. But no, that's a most beautiful
Huge asset.
sunset.
Yep.
Yeah.
It happens. I cannot wait to walk
Right.
on that boardwalk
Yeah.
during the sunset because it's gorgeous.
It
Again,
is.
it's another asset. And I think another thing that happened, that rollout, talking back to the information, I don't think it rolled out well.
Sure.
There was a lot of misinformation about it, and I think there was just a lot of negativity from the jump start. But I think once people actually use it,
Yeah.
I
Well,
can't wait.
What was one that we were talking about at the end of last year too was like the rail trail. Even the rail trail had some negativity when it
Right.
first rolled out. And
Yep.
I mean, look at that. I
Right.
mean, that's really turned out to be
Right.
such an amazing asset for the community. And
Right.
so sometimes that happens, right? People in the senior center was another one. People
Oh,
thought it was
Right.
going to be
so
the
Senior
worst thing
center.
ever. And,
Yeah.
so
Even
it's interesting.
and I think that's what's so great about Marlborough in some regards is like the change can be very difficult.
Yeah.
And I'm very fortunate that change with my administration has been really positive, which is a
Sure.
good thing because like you kind of expect that negative feedback, And I told Ryan, I'm like, get ready in the spring, get your hiking boots because we're
We're going.
showcase these trails, as instead of like a small business Saturday tour, like, hey, what trails can we showcase?
awesome.
Because everyone wants green space, everyone wants to be outside,
Yep.
and yet why are we talking about this? Why
Let's
is it?
do it.
Why is this so? It's like this hidden thing that like.
All right, so I'll
showcase
tell you.
it.
So we do little team outings. Once
Okay.
we do it twice a year. Were you there? Yeah, we all did it
Yeah.
together. We don't have the pictures to pull it up,
No,
but one
no.
of our team outings last summer, I think it was, we literally went down. We rented kayaks from the rec department,
Which is-
went out on the lake. We had so much fun.
fun.
It was so fun.
Beautiful day.
And I think it's free of charge
Yes,
for the
yeah, for Marlborough
Again,
residents, yeah.
it's another thing that the rec department does that's not showcased.
Absolutely.
And I'm
to
just
go
like,
out and buy life
Right.
jackets and
No,
kayaks.
we
You
we pulled up, we
Pulled up, right.
grabbed the kayaks, put on our life jackets, and we had a blast.
Yeah.
did
We
anyone fall in?
No. Did we
okay.
jump? We got out at one point though, because I think we ended at Memorial Beach, and
Yeah.
we
Oh,
that's a
we
big
went
loop.
swimming. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We got our workout in.
Were you sore the next day?
It was fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We're still feeling it actually.
7 months later.
Never recovered.
But again, that's the beautiful thing about
Yes.
Marlborough. There's so many little hidden things that, like,
Yes.
I didn't know about that. You
Yeah.
know,
Shoe
it's just,
rentals, right?
Yeah.
If we get more snow. There's
There's a
we're
lot
not
of great
getting any
things.
more snow because again, snow and ice budget is tapped out. So,
Fine.
yeah.
So next year.
Next year.
winter, snowshoe rent. No more snow.
No
When
more
my
You heard it here first.
we had no
It's
more
not
snow.
happening.
Marlborough will not be hosting snow.
No.
All right, you said Small Business Saturdays tour.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
love
gonna,
it.
I will. You started that during your campaign. It has now continued into your, new administration. Tell us a little bit about that. Why did you start doing it? Who have you featured? Who are some of the folks?
Oh my
I know there's been a lot.
There's been, so that just started with just like a little post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it just morphed into this beautiful videos and
love it.
production and editing, and Ryan's B-roll. I didn't know what B-roll was
Ryan does a
until
fabulous
this.
job.
I'm just like, what is B-roll?
I think he called Jill
so-
a couple times for some tips,
All
right?
I'm like, so here's what B-roll. And for anyone listening, it's the extra footage that you put on top of
Yeah, so if you
video
watched
narration or anything.
Small Business, it's like the food, like when he zooms in and zooms out, and it's,
Great technique. Great. technique.
It is, and we
is.
cheers. It is. It's funny because like when the campaign ended, we got quite a few emails saying, "Please continue
Oh,
this,"
that's awesome.
because a lot of people utilize it as references or dining out, or they didn't know
Yeah.
this business existed, and a lot of it's kind of great because you tap into my childhood. I
Yeah.
think Jake's was my favorite.
Well, yeah, you learn a
So-
little bit about you.
Right, and
Yeah.
it personalizes things
Yeah.
too, and that business, And I told Ryan, I'm like, Ryan, when we go to Jake's, I need to spin on the chair because I used to do that as a kid. He's like, we're not doing that, we're doing
it.
because again, it's a beautiful moment, and again, it makes
Yeah.
Yeah.
me human,
Human, right.
and we did it, and it's just there was little moments where like, okay, let's just capture it because
Yeah.
like whatever, but we've been to, the
You just did
Creamery, and
Fireflies, right?
we just
Yeah,
did
I
Firefly,
saw
and
that, yeah.
Steve is incredible.
Yes.
Like he came over to the table like numerous times,
He's great.
but it didn't matter if I'm the mayor or not. He
No,
just
that's
does
his-
that,
that's
like,
his shtick.
Fireflies.
but you just,
Yeah.
but I mean, we've been through
You went to Trombetta's. I remember you doing a
my
Trombetta.
first,
Talking about your first
Trombetta's
job.
my first job.
Yeah.
Trombetta's, Jake's,
Spirit of Motion
Dairy
was
Queen,
one.
Spirit of Motion. Yeah, like
done a lot.
it's been incredible. Like, and again, and you're just like kind of thinking of places, Engravables,
Mm-hmm.
Family House of Pizza. Like, it's just like, okay, why not? Like,
That's awesome.
Yeah. And so now it's just, okay, how do we pivot?
Right,
Just
right,
because
right.
like schedules are so busy and things are so demanding, but we were able to we didn't do any in January, and I felt
Well, you had a
so
couple things going
but I
on.
felt so good. I'm like, oh, we have to do it. But I did not have one day off in January, so that's kind of my excuse. But yeah, we went to Fireflies, and we'll figure out what the next one is and kind of tape that. But again, even with the mobile mayor's office, like even
Yeah.
without the video, we kind of pop into different businesses and say hello, and
Yeah.
just kind of check in. We went to Casa, and that was great. Got to
Yeah.
talk to him, and then we got to learn about Saffron, which is the new restaurant.
I heard that they
him and his
like
family
kind
opened.
of soft open.
I heard that
potentially.
too, and I'm like, oh, I want to go.
I know I
So
haven't been yet.
So hopefully we'll pop in this week, and
Yeah.
again talking to him, and it's a family thing, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just kind of nice just to talk one-on-one, and then it opens up more of a conversation because
Sure.
he was like, oh my god, I was going to write you a letter congratulating you, I want to get more involved. I'm like, well, here I am.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
have to write a letter,
Right.
And he's like, I love Marlborough, how do I get more involved? And
Sure.
it just kind of like builds that momentum, like
Yeah.
and for me it was a great time. I got to go in the back and see the inventory and how the
Yeah.
businesses run, and like
awesome.
that for me from an operational standpoint,
Yeah.
I loved it. And again, to have that cool little title
Yeah.
opens up so many different doors.
Well, and I
that
think you'll
never
find we
would've-
haven't done many yet because it's only been 33, 40 days, whatever it's been. I don't even actually know what the number is. But part of our mayor's program, which we've started with you,
Yeah.
we've done a couple of different
Yeah.
things, but I always found it really interesting. So I've been here almost 9 years, and some of my very favorite meetings, like when we're touring Ken's Foods, like the manufacturing facility.
Yeah, and we did that on the campaign, which was
Yeah.
incredible.
And like but you drive, and I've been saying this for years too. You drive by these buildings during the day, and you see the name or you see the sign, but you don't really know what's going on inside of them.
Correct.
And so I think it's really cool cool to be able to showcase some of the things that are happening. And the companies love it because they're getting exposure. They want people to know what's going on. Oftentimes they want to be able to hire people that are local. And so it's really kind of cool. And exactly what you're saying of being able to just go in, put a face to the name, shake hands, and be a resource for those folks in the community. Yeah.
And again, they love the community that they work in. You know, they chose Marlborough for a reason. And why not?
Right.
Why not showcase that?
Right.
You know, it's
good.
Again, having this position is truly something special.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. Not everybody gets to do it.
Oh, I'm the 44th?
I don't know. Is that what it is?
I'm the 44th mayor in the city of Marlborough.
That's awesome.
So to be in that cool club of only 44 people in the world have been the mayor of Marlborough.
We know
him.
We know him. He's here.
Yeah, and even my friend, you know, my friends, my family, like it affects everyone in my life too, you know, and I don't have a personal life, and I feel
it's a lot
guilty.
of responsibility too, and then you're taking on such a huge job and a role, and so kudos, because not everybody gets to do it, but it's not everybody could do it either. So congratulations.
But, thank you. And I honestly think like I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the foundation that I have. You know, like because they keep me humble, they keep me grounded. They're not afraid to tell me how it is. Or, you know, I don't think I'll ever get a big head, but they're there in case I do.
In case you do,
which I don't think will happen. You know, but
do we have a question?
We do have a couple comments.
Okay.
Everyone that's joined us, so happy to see you all here. We did have President Austin joined us earlier. He might still be here. He said hello, Meredith. Jill, welcome, Mayor.
Good
Dumais.
morning.
Good morning.
And we also, I'm just going to go through and give shout outs here. So we have UMass Memorial Hospital joined us. Feel strong from a huge connection to the mayor's office in the city of Marlborough. It's wonderful.
That's awesome.
Michael Baker, thank you for joining us.
There we go. I told him that if I wiggle my ear, then that's for you. There you go, buddy. Yeah.
That was a little bit earlier, but we were just on a roll.
That's so cool.
Can I just tell you, Mike Becker had the best post when on inauguration day, because
what did he post?
He came up to the fourth floor after inauguration and he posted, "See guys, I told you I'd make it to the fourth floor," and it's a picture of an eye. Hands down,
that's
best
awesome.
post.
I love it.
Best post.
I love it.
All right, we just have a couple more, and then we'll get back to our questions. So Neeraj says 100% agree about showcasing the events, places, facilities. It's so important. It's so important. So that's awesome you're doing it. And then we also have Modular Concepts.
Luis,
excellent content. Keep up the good work. Go Molly. Go Steve. Great people working together to make our community prosper.
I'll add to that. Go Luis, because you're a part of that team too.
He's
so
incredible.
Yeah,
he's incredible too.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But then again, how cool is our job?
Amazing.
Because
I
we
love
get
coming to work every day.
Because we get to work with such dynamic people
Yeah, we're
with
doing really
diverse
cool things.
backgrounds and different perspectives that all have a genuine
We've got
care.
some more great people.
Oh, you're throwing up
Oh,
the
the rails,
hockey
yeah.
pictures. I love it.
That's my
Just
first
to show.
weekend. I got to throw the puck at the rail. It's
That's right.
not a bad gig.
Yeah, and there's Luis too. So, and to your
Luis,
point,
yeah.
I mean, people that just support the community and
Right.
support
And
the things that are going
Ty
on.
from the chamber.
From the chamber.
Yeah.
And, so, I mean, Marlborough is a hockey community. So we're going to be getting you in the fold of all of the New England Sports Center, all that kind of stuff. It's a huge driver for the city. And so, again, things that you learn more about and get to dive deeper into now in the new role, I think that's going to be a fun one. Clearly, you're a hockey player. So.
I know. I was supposed to get again, another cool thing about it, I was supposed to get a jersey, like a custom jersey.
Did they
and
not give it to you?
They ran out of letters apparently. I
we
don't.
gotta
Yeah, so
follow
I
up on
have to.
that.
I have to follow.
get a
Ryan,
cricket
follow
and
up on
I
that.
think we know.
Yeah, so,
I think President Austin has like an in over there. He was
Yeah.
like throwing T-shirts to
Right,
all of
yeah,
us in the
yeah,
crowd. Great throw, by the way.
Great catch.
Great catch.
Well,
I also
that's
caught
what I was
one,
looking
too,
for, but
that was good. It was
mine came right to me. It was really
Yeah.
good. Yeah, awesome. Anyways, all right. You mentioned the chamber, so I
Yes.
before we wrap up, what does the chamber mean to you? I know when you were starting your business, we talked about it a little bit, earlier in the show, but. What did the chamber mean for you when you were starting your business? They're a great partner to us, and we'd love to give them a shout out.
It was everything, you know, honestly, from a networking perspective, from someone who understood what I was going through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, again, when I opened the shop, I was 30, you know, and so to.
You were that young?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a long time ago. No.
Everybody can do the math, right?
Yeah. I'm 43. You don't have to. So none of my friends had a business, you know, like how do you bounce ideas off? You know, so having that resource of like, hey, what do I do about this? Or, hey, do you know a payroll person? Or like, I'm stuck, you know? So the chamber was huge with networking and trying to like-minded people who went through it, you know, and who understood it, you know, and it was kind of great. But now
I was going to say we work really closely with Steve and his
Right.
team at the chamber, and Luis and Ty and all those
Right.
folks. But we kind of, our roles are parallel, where MEDC really plays the role of when you need something from the city perspective, that's
Right.
when you call us. Or if you're, you need those grants, or you're
Right.
looking for, I need expedited permitting, or how do I get in touch with the building commissioner, or those
Right.
things. That's kind of where we step in, and then we attract them, we bring them into the community, and then the chamber
Right.
can step in and help with the networking
Correct.
and, helping
Right.
folks sustain the business
Right.
too.
And now as mayor, like how do you bring all three together, whether the city, the
Yep.
chamber, and MEDC, which
great.
is huge for the city as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
And we look forward to your personal experience with the chamber.
Yeah.
Is just it's
Huge asset,
invaluable.
yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
yeah.
All right, so we're almost done, but we got to tease you a little bit,
Okay.
not too much,
No.
but just a little.
I went through high school. I can handle it.
All right, Jill, roll the clip. Roll
All
the
right,
clip.
we're just
Wait,
gonna-
I think I know what's coming. So if you see the pictures that are to come, you'll see why I was made fun of so much.
So we're gonna cut to one of our last few seconds of
Episode
Sweet
16.
16, where we played a game with you. We said, where did you go? So we were
Sure.
good. And then you got through all of our game, and then you had a question for us. So we're just going to cut to that right now.
Yeah, I'm very familiar.
That's it.
No embarrassing photos, no nothing. Wow.
No.
They got out easy.
Do you want us to
Yeah.
find some and add them in?
If I'm welcomed back in a year or so, we can go down
We're
that
going to
road.
need that bowl
but-
cut.
I said in a year. It's been longer than a year. So it's that. Oh.
So if you didn't know, if you search, you can
This is a
search
very
through the
great tool.
Marlborough Public Library. or
Another
if you just
asset of
search
Marlborough.
Marlborough High School Yearbook, Marlborough, Massachusetts, you will find all of the yearbooks archived. So
What year was that? I
This
think it was
was-
senior
This is your senior year.
this is your senior photo.
I look 8th grade. Don't I look 12.
You look young.
You do look young.
Okay,
still
so
look young.
okay,
Youthful.
remind you, senior year, I was 17. So when you put things in perspective, you're like, oh, yeah,
Do we have another one, right?
Yeah, you also were on the cross country team.
yeah. Oh, wow.
So he's in the center here. I will say, I have seen this same. This was your junior year.
I think he's making the face right now.
No, wait. Where am I?
In the middle, right? Is that not you in the middle?
I don't think so.
Tell
No?
me it's not him.
Right there? That's you.
I don't.
Your junior year? Okay, let's just go back to your definite senior photo. Hey! I swear that's you. I thought I saw it with you. You ran cross country with Coach
I did. Yeah.
That's not you?
I'll have to take a
Oh,
closer
yeah.
look. Yeah.
It's so
Well, for the viewers, it's you for
there's
sure.
there's a TV up above me that
False
that's kind of
information.
far away.
Yeah.
Okay, was that good? You asked for it.
Thank
I thought it was going to be a lot worse. You could have done better, Jill.
I could have.
Oh, you could have.
I chose not to. So I went to the.
chose not.
I went
Because
to-
your
I mean,
life is so
early-
You are a new
embarrassing.
boss, so
I did go to your
mean, she's
freshman
cut.
year, sophomore year, junior year, and I was
Okay.
like, let's just stick with the senior.
But
photo.
for everybody watching, you can find those
can.
photos. It's another asset of Marlborough, a service that we have available, right?
Yeah. Should have called my mom.
yeah,
happy
I
to-
wanted to see the bowl cut.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Well, next time.
next time.
Next time.
So can we tease you next time? Can we find some other photos?
I think that you're going to do it anyways.
That's
so-
right. We are. That's right.
I have to take a look at the cross country picture.
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
I don't know if I'm,
I'll show
I'm
it to
in
you
there.
later. I think it's you because I swear you make that same facial expression.
Well, folks,
Things,
that's all.
things don't change. Yeah. Is it a bad facial expression?
No, it's cute.
Thank you so much.
No,
we
thank
appreciate
you.
your time. We know that your time is limited these days.
Yeah.
And so thank you for being here with us and talking economic development.
Thank you.
And it's been fun, I think, for the viewers as well to just get to know you a little bit and on a different level. So thank you for joining us.
No,
we will
thank you.
invite you
If
back
I-
for another episode. Maybe it'll end with a 6. I don't know. We'll see. But thank you for joining us this episode of Exploring Economic Development with MEDC. And we look forward to seeing you again in April.
Yes.
Have a wonderful Wednesday, everybody.
And now we're going to cut to our video of our revolving loan fund. So check that out.
Bye-bye.
I think.
Hi, my name is Linda Martins with the Marlborough Economic Development Corporation, also known as MEDC. And today I'm here to tell you about the Marlborough Area Community Loan Fund. The Marlborough Area Community Loan Fund is a collection of local monies that are borrowed by business owners, recycled through repayment, and reused by future borrowers. Officially launched in January of 2016, this revolving loan fund, also known as RLF, allows companies to secure gap financing, which provides a bridge between the funding they have obtained through a private lender and the actual amount they need to start or sustain a business. The funds are provided through a partnership between the MEDC and 4 local banks: Main Street Bank, St. Mary's Credit Union, Avidia Bank, and DCU. And all are used exclusively for the development and expansion of businesses in Marlborough. If you are the owner of a business with available capital and bank loan approval that together cover a significant portion of your launch or expansion in Marlborough, the revolving loan fund could help you obtain the remaining funds. The RLF funds can be used towards the following: leasehold improvements, operating capital, acquisition of land and buildings, new construction, facade and building renovation, landscape and property improvements, machinery and equipment purchases, soft cost expenses related to real estate development. To be considered, revolving loan fund applicants must meet all of the following requirements: business is or will be located in Marlborough, personal guarantees and collateral, lease or ownership of commercial property in Marlborough, business plan and/or cash flow projections, sufficient credit history, and the completed RLF application and supporting documents. If you'd like to learn more about MEDC's programs, please reach out to us via email, give us a call, or visit our website. You can also follow us on social media by searching @Marlborough EDC.